Okie dokie. So we're sitting here and looking at these Scrabble values, and I copied and pasted them into Excel to make it easier for us to work with. I'm going to do a couple things. For one thing, we need to find the mean, the median, and the mode. So what's happening here is the point values are like the x's, and the number of tiles is like the weight, right? Okay. Because we want to know the average points. So how many there are weights down the one, for example. There's way more ones than there is anything else. All right, so we're going to find the sum of the weights. Well, sum of all those weights, 100 tiles. Great. Now I'm going to find the sum product down here. So equals sum product, parentheses, and then it wants the first array, so I get all the x's, comma, then all the weights, close parentheses, enter. And then so the mean is equal to 187 divided by 100. There we go. There's the mean right there. Now it also wants to know the median and the mode. Now these are not going to be able to be calculated by Excel. You're just going to have to kind of figure them out. Now let's talk about the mode for a second, because the mode's the easiest. The mode is whichever one occurs the most often, which if you look at it, it's really obvious. Which point value is the most common by far? It's right there. It's 1, right? So the mode is 1. Simple as that. Now the median, you kind of have to remember what a median is. A median is the middle score, right? So let's think about this. You have 100 tiles, lots and 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 lots of ones. Hold on. Let me type it up. There they are. Okay, so I typed up all the points just so you could see this. You don't have to do this to figure this out. I'm just going to give you a hint. The answer is 1. But let's see why. So you have 100 data points, right? So the median, remember, is the 50th point. It's not really the 50th point. It's the halfway spot between 50 and 51. So let me go to here. So here's the first 50. Let me put them in a color. How about yellow? Oopsie. Hey, yellow. Come back. There it is. There's the first 50. And then here's the second 50. Right down here, all the way to the 10. Okay? So because the median is the middle score, the median is the halfway spot between these two, right? You have so many ones that they end up covering the 50 to 51st value, right? So you'd add up 1 plus 1, divide by 2, and you get 1, right? So the median is actually 1. Right? Hopefully that makes sense. So there's 100 tiles total, so the median's the 50 mark, the 50% mark, right, half of the way. So you go all the way down to 50, and it's got to be 1. And you can see it from the table. You don't have to do it there. Look, there's 70 of them in the first 2 alone, right? So the 50th one's going to fall here in that same area as the blue region. And then the remaining 50 are going to be over here and a little bit of the blue, right? Okay. So, and again, you didn't have to type them all out to figure that out. You could have just said, okay, there's 100 total, so it's got to be the 50-way mark, right? If it had been 50 total, you would have gone for the 25, right? It's actually halfway between the 25 and 26, right? So you would count until you get to that point. All right, so there's the mean, the median, and the mode. So let me copy and paste those back into the sheet. There we go. What's the shape of the distribution? Well, it's skewed right, but let's see it. Let me draw you a histogram real quick. Remember how to do this from chapter 2, right? And we want the correct horizontal axis labels, which are right here. There we go. And moreover, I want no gaps because it's a histogram. There we go. Look at that. Totally skewed right. Right? Because most tiles are here at the 1 mark, and you have a few over here at the 10 for outliers. Your X's and your Q's and your J's, right? All right, let me go back and type that up. There we go. It's skewed right. And if you want, you can feel free to sketch a little picture of the histogram we just made. So if you're playing Scrabble with a friend, what would you say is the average point value? All right, well, I'll let you think about that for a second, and I'll type up my answer, and I'll see you back here at the next video for it.